It doesn't really shift anything with Caitlin. I think it continues to be, the most important thing is that she's 100% when she's ready to come back. But her long-term health and wellness is the most.
Coach Stephanie White didn't just coach that night. She snapped. She looked Caitlin Clark dead in the eye and threw down a bombshell. Leave if you want. This fiery explosion on August 26, 2025, lit up Indianapolis and had fans losing their minds. But why did White reach her breaking point? And is Clark's future with the Fever really dangling by a thread? People are whispering about hidden drama. Was this a battle of egos, or a deep crack inside the locker room nobody saw coming? And hanging over everything is the growing mystery around Clark's health. Something about this story doesn't line up, and it's starting to feel way bigger than just a little day-to-day injury update. For weeks, fans have been piecing together scraps, polished press releases, vague timelines, and those random offhand comments that only add more smoke to the fire. But once you stack it all together, the story looks twisted, almost shady. Is this just sloppy communication, or is the Fever's front office playing damage control with the truth? Let's take it back. Mid-July, Clark reportedly went down with a groin injury after a collision with JCS Sheldon. At first, the spin was clean and easy, day-to-day, with a return likely by late August. That calmed nerves, made it sound under control. But here we are, August almost over, and Clark hasn't touched open practice once. And just when fans started pressing for answers, the story magically shifted. By early August, the front office slid in a new update, a fresh injury from a workout around August 7th. Neat, convenient, too perfect. But then, boom! Footage dropped of Clark in Phoenix on that exact day, strutting down the street like a runway model, not a sidelined star. No limp, no brace, nothing. No limp, no struggle, no sign of pain. Just Caitlin Clark gliding through the streets with a designer bag on her arm, looking more like she was headed to a photo shoot than rehab. How are fans supposed to buy into the injury story when the receipts look this different? Coach Stephanie White stayed locked on her version, telling reporters on August 12th that she hoped Clark would be back in practice soon. But soon came and went, practices rolled on, and Clark was still a ghost. White repeated the same line, status quo until Clark is back. But status quo for who? Not for the fans who've been hanging on every word for over 5 weeks, desperate for a straight answer. Then came the whispers, talk of another setback, this time an ankle tweak, supposedly during recovery. One reporter swore it slowed Clark down, another said it meant nothing at all. Which one is it? And while the media played guessing games, teammates like Natasha Howard kept teasing the crowd with cryptic lines like, "See you soon, C." That only cranked up expectations. But still, no Clark. The mess only grew when reporters started laughing on air, clowning her injury timeline like it was a late-night comedy skit. Think about that. The WNBA's biggest star, the face driving record-breaking ratings, being reduced to a punchline while she's still missing from the court. Should fans really settle for jokes when no one's giving them straight answers? Now the theories are multiplying by the minute. Is the Fever hiding the truth? Are they downplaying something major? Or is the story way simpler than the circus they've created? Until the front office comes clean, speculation is going to keep spinning. And fans are already piecing it together in real time. And trust me, the picture that's forming is looking shady. You land a billion-dollar superstar like Caitlin Clark, and somehow her health, her treatment, and even the respect she gets inside the franchise look like a full-blown circus. A bad PR move is one thing, but flat-out insulting the intelligence of fans, who rewatch every clip, zoom in on every frame, and keep receipts stacked, is a whole different level of messy. Take that viral clip, for example. Assistant coach Bon January clearly steps on Clark's left foot during a game, whether it was an accident or not. And guess what? That's the same foot people have been whispering about ever since. The camera doesn't lie, but suddenly the Fever are pushing a workout mishap story, vague and conveniently timed. Really? Fans aren't supposed to notice the timelines don't match? So what is it? A random gym accident or an injury that happened in plain sight of thousands watching live? The Fever's response so far: silence, spin, evasion. just makes things look worse. That's how conspiracy theories catch fire. Not because fans are reaching, but because the team refuses to keep it real. When you smirk, deny, and downplay something that's literally on video, you're not protecting the organization. You're telling fans you think they're too naive to catch on. Spoiler alert, they catch everything. And here's the wild part. Nobody's doubting Clark's toughness. Everybody knows she'll play through pain if she has to. What's in question is the credibility of the very people supposed to protect her. How does a franchise with the golden ticket of women's basketball fumble this hard? How does the league's most marketable name get treated like she's disposable? Sure, maybe the Fever are telling the truth. Maybe it really was a freak workout accident. But if that's the case, why not shut down the rumors once and for all? Why let the speculation spiral until it looks like a scandal instead of a sprain? The longer the silence drags, the louder the whispers get. And now, it's not just about an injury, it's about trust. What hidden drama really lurks behind Caitlin Clark's rise? Fame, fouls, and the future of the WNBA are all colliding in what's being called the Caitlin Clark storm. The spotlight on her has never burned brighter, but with every roar of the crowd comes an ugly shadow of controversy. Her rookie season wasn't just about lighting up the scoreboard. It was about survival. Fans watched rough plays pile up, and protection often looked optional at best. That brutal late-game collision against the Connecticut Sun lit up debates all over again. Are refs really giving her a fair shake? Or is Clark dealing with something deeper than just rookie treatment? But officiating is only one piece of the puzzle. The WNBA is juggling chaos on all sides. Rowdy crowds pushing limits, tighter arena rules, and players openly calling for stronger mental health support. The league rolled out its big No Space for Hate campaign in 2024, complete with AI monitoring and stricter codes. But critics say it barely scratches the surface. More whistles, more security. Fans still ask, is it enough? And through the storm, the receipts prove Clark is the league's golden ticket. A jaw-dropping $28 million Nike deal, Times Athlete of the Year in 2024. And that July 27th showdown with the Chicago Sky? It pulled in 1.7 million viewers, one of the most watched regular season games ever. Clark is ratings gold, even as her body battles injuries, as haters jeer her name, and as the sting of that infamous Olympic snub still hangs in the air. How could a player this impactful be iced out of Team USA? Fans argue endlessly. Was it politics, strategy, or something nobody's willing to say out loud? And then there's her fire-fueled rivalry with Angel Reese, a storyline fans devour like drama TV. Every matchup between them sparks heated debates that spill way past basketball, blurring into cultural battles online. Some say this feud is carrying the WNBA, keeping fans glued in. Others fear it's hijacking the bigger conversations, like player safety, fair calls, and whether the league can grow without tearing itself apart. So here we are. Clark's fame keeps surging, but the questions only get louder. Can the WNBA protect its brightest star while keeping the game honest? Will her presence finally force refs to step up their standards? And how much power do fans hold, fueling toxic narratives or demanding real change for the future of the sport? What really sparked the Caitlin Clark controversy? And why are fans so furious? Stay locked in, because the Caitlin Clark controversy has fans straight up furious. The Indiana Fever should be surfing the wave of Clark's superstar glow, selling out arenas and cashing in on record-breaking hype. Instead, the franchise feels stuck in a storm of confusion and cover-ups. Fans who shelled out money for tickets and stacked their closets with Clark jerseys are now left asking the same question. What's really going on? The injury story keeps changing, and the excuses don't always line up. At the heart of it all? Head coach Stephanie White. Some people believe she's just shielding her player, doing her job. But others are convinced she's part of a bigger play, maybe even a strategy to keep ticket sales booming while Clark's return stays a mystery. Is this sloppy communication, or is something deliberate happening behind the scenes? Clark didn't just join the WNBA, she blew it open. Ratings through the roof, highlights everywhere, her name dominating every headline. But almost instantly, critics jumped in saying she wasn't built for the grind yet. pushing that narrative about her needing more muscle, more strength. If those whispers pressured the Fever into rushing her training, and that training led to her breaking down, then this isn't bad luck. This is bad planning. And when bad planning wrecks a season, someone's got to take the fall. What really pours gas on the fire is the idea that her return timeline has been stretched, even manipulated, to keep fans holding on to hope. Some suspect she was pushed back too soon, risking even worse damage. Others whisper the Fever are stalling on purpose, plotting a big playoff shocker instead of being honest. And that's why fans keep asking the heavy question: was Clark's injury way worse than they ever admitted? For now, the silence is deafening and nothing is confirmed. But the longer it drags, the messier it gets. The silence, the shifting timelines, the endless rumors. It's all painting one messy picture. Whether it's mismanagement, desperation, or just bad luck stacking up, one thing's undeniable. The Fever's credibility is hanging by a single thread, and fans are demanding answers louder than ever. So what really went down with Caitlin Clark's shocking injury? From the very first whispers about that groin issue, the updates have felt less like medical reports and more like a soap opera of mixed signals. One day she's day to day. The next, she's out indefinitely. Then comes a hyped-up August 12th return date, only for it to vanish into thin air. How are fans supposed to keep believing when the story keeps rewriting itself? And then came the Dallas debacle. Clark was listed as a game-time decision, but later Coach Stephanie White admitted she hadn't even been practicing. That wasn't just a small misstep, that was a full-blown credibility crisis. If the team's own words don't match, why should anyone trust the narrative they're selling? The fire only spread from there. Some fans are openly saying Clark should ditch the Fever's medical staff entirely and run back to the Iowa doctors she already knows and trusts. Harsh? Maybe. But can you really blame them for thinking their star might be rushed back just to keep tickets moving and TV ratings soaring? Silence and half-answers often scream louder than honesty. And right now, it feels like the team is playing PR cleanup instead of truly protecting their player. Still, there's another angle fans can't ignore. Injury details for any superstar are usually guarded like state secrets. Sometimes that secrecy isn't shady, it's strategic, shielding athletes from being targeted by opponents who'd exploit any weakness. Maybe the Fever are protecting Clark, even if it looks like chaos on the outside. Either way, the damage has been done. Fans are restless, trust is crumbling, and speculation is running wild. If the Fever don't clear the air soon, this drama won't just be about one injury. It'll be a full-blown scandal shaking the entire WNBA. So make sure you like, drop a comment with your take, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. The longer this saga drags out, the more it stops looking like a simple injury and starts smelling like a full-blown cover-up. Fans aren't just frustrated anymore. They're furious. Every week it's a new excuse, a new timeline, a new story, and still no Clark on the court. Meanwhile, ticket prices stay sky high and merch keeps flying off the shelves. Some people are flat out saying the Fever are playing the business game harder than the basketball one. And then there's the trust factor. Once fans stop believing what they're told, everything gets questioned. Was Clark ever really close to returning? Did the team exaggerate her progress to keep hope alive? Or worse, was she pushed too hard behind the scenes? The silence from the top only fuels more conspiracy theories. And at this point, even loyal Fever supporters are starting to feel played. This isn't just about one player. It's about the image of the whole franchise. Caitlin Clark is the face of the WNBA right now. And if her story gets tangled up in lies, the fallout could shake the league itself. Fans don't want spin, they want truth. And until the Fever step up, the whispers won't stop. So what's really being hidden behind closed doors in Indiana? Is Clark being protected or exploited? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.